Shalom. The Parashat this week, Parashat Shabbat, is Parashat miketz. Miketz means that after 2 years, that Joseph is now in prison. He was sold by his brothers and was thrown to the prison in Egypt by Pharaoh after he refused to be seduced by the wife of the Pharaoh. And now, after 2 years, the big Pharaoh having a problem. He's having dreams that he cannot solve. And in his dreams, he sees 7 cows coming out from the Nile. And right after them coming 7 weak and skinny cows. And they are eating the heavy ones, the good ones. But yet, you cannot see anything on them. That's a scary thing. They just had a huge thing and it still look the same. Same thing happened with the wheat sheaves. Now he's scared, he's calling all the wise people around Egypt. Please tell me, what does this dream mean? And nobody can tell him. Probably they tell him many stories, but it doesn't fit right. It doesn't look right in his intuition. So he keeps on searching. And then they are reminded of Joseph. Joseph, who was supposed to be let off 2 years ago after he solved the dreams of the ministers of the Pharaoh, now is remembered and is getting called out. And Joseph, we can say that he's connected, that he's channeling, but he knows how to solve this dream. When we look at like he's translating it, it's really simple. The 7 good cows will be the 7 good years, but right after them will come 7 years of drought, of hunger. And in the desert of Egypt, all this thing is very hard. How can you survive it? There's only one way. You'll have to be prepared. Have you prepared yourself for a rainy day? Today we call it pension, today we got it many other ways. What have you done to make sure that in 5 years, in 10 years from now, in 15, you will be happy, healthy, and satisfied in your mind and body? Would you like to stay in the same position? Would you like to study something more? Would you like to gain more knowledge that will help you in the future? It is now the time for that, guys. The time to look forward. We got up here to an amazing hill in Israel. You can see a little bit to the side. And the whole valley is green and nice. And we want you to get up on that hill of your life and look forward. Look to the next 7 years. What would you like to achieve? Set your goals. Plan ahead. This is the only way to get to the right results. Of course, the Pharaoh is very impressed by the wisdom of Joseph, and he put him to be the secondary to the Pharaoh. It's the highest rank he could ever be. And he says, you will be in charge to make sure that we are passing all these 14 years in the best manner. And indeed, 7 good years come, and they're picking and they're saving and they're keeping everything in those silos. If it's sweet, if it's other things that they are very dry, and they can keep it for years and years. And then the 7 bad years are coming. Jacob, Israel, in the land of Canaan, is hearing that in Egypt they're breaking the hunger. And he's asking his sons to go there and to get some food for them, to get them some help. He sent everybody but one. Only one is Benjamin, the youngest son. Already Jacob lost Joseph. He don't know what's going on with him. He says, I'm not going to give up my youngest, my dearest maybe. And the brothers are getting to Joseph, and Joseph is cruel, is mean, is unforgiving. They've been very strong and tough toward him, many years ago. Now it is time to do the payback. But it's not easy. Joseph doesn't show his face. He doesn't tell them that he is the brother that they've been sending many years ago. And he's accusing them to be spies. Eventually, after a lot of arguments, they're leaving Shimon to be a prisoner, and he asked them to go back and to get Benjamin. He filled all of their tools with food, and he sent them back to Jacob. And when they go back to Israel, they say, listen, this is what the man is asking. Bring Benjamin. Jacob is not taking any chances. He says, I will not let you have Benjamin to go with you. I already lost Joseph. Now I lost Shimon. I'm not going to lose Benjamin as well. So what happened now, that slowly, they are eating everything that's been given to them by Joseph. And then they are hungry again. And then their silos are empty again. Now, after a long time, after being hungry, after being fighting, after being arguing, after being confused, they have to go and to do the first mission that they were put in the first place. It's a lesson for us. It's a lesson for us that whenever you have a mission to do, whatever you don't like to do it first. Yes. If you overcome the things that you hate as the first tasks, your life will be much easier. Because otherwise it will grow on you twice. Once, when you didn't complete the mission. And it's only growing and growing and growing. The problem turns to grow more and more on you. It will be harder to solve it later. The second is your mental issue. It says, how come me, a big person like that, cannot solve an issue? The phone call that you don't want to do. Whatever it is, go out and do it first. You will see that it's not that bad. You will see that it's much easier than you thought. And now you got more time and more energy to do many other things. It's a good idea. That doesn't learn it. Because when the brothers are coming back to Joseph again, he's still very tough on them. And he still doesn't believe them. Even though they got Benjamin with them. They send him. And they send him again. With all the food, with all the things. But this time Joseph is making a trick. He's putting the cup, the silver cup of the king, in their tools. Joseph is crying. The brothers are having a hard time. Brothers fighting. It's the worst thing that can happen. Guys, how is your family? Have you ever fought? Have you ever had bad arguments with your brothers, with your parents? Isn't it painful? I'm privileged enough to have 5 brothers and 2 great parents. I cannot even imagine having few hours of fighting between them or between us. Here is a lesson for us. Brothers, when we are related in blood, when it's the close family, this is the strongest seed that you will ever have. Friends comes and goes. But your family is the most important thing. Do not fight it. Find a way to forgive and forget. Find a way to live together in the best manner that you can. Now, it doesn't matter who started. Many times when I'm giving my workshops, people are asking me, all right, so who should say sorry first? And I say, the strongest, the biggest. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. If you want to be the biggest, you would say, and you would apologize, and you would find a way to come humble and to break this circle of really bad relationship that is for nothing. That's what happened to Joseph and his brothers, and it's taking a lot of energy out of them, and it's making very, very hard time for them. So guys, what we can learn from that is find a way. Find a way to plan ahead, and find a way to be the best that you can with anyone that around you, but especially, most importantly, with your close family. This is a seed, which from that you will grow to the best years you will ever have. See you next time. Shabbat shalom.